Hey everybody, I'm Jammer here today with my video review for Shovel Knight Specter of Torment for the Nintendo Switch. For my background with this series, I got the original Shovel Knight on Wii U a little over a year ago. I played through it only once and didn't really touch it much after that. It wasn't that I didn't have a good time with it, it's just other games came up. It wasn't until last fall where I went back and started playing again where my love for this series truly grew. I had a ton of fun with Custom Night, playing co-op, and of course the Plague Knight campaign. That's why I was so happy when Yacht Club Games announced that Specter of Torment would be a launch title for the Nintendo Switch. As the name of the game implies, you play as Specter Knight, in a prequel story to the events that happened in the main Shovel Knight campaign, Shovel of Hope. This takes place in a time before the Enchantress has risen to power and the Knights of No Quarter have yet to be assembled. A tragic event occurs and it is the Enchantress who gives life to Specter Knight and tasks him to assemble her order. What's interesting about this game is unlike previous campaigns, you can just select any stage and fight the Knights in any order you choose. It's very Mega Man in that way. Due to this change, all of the levels have increased difficulty from their originals in order to better suit the balance of this game. Stages like King Knight in the first campaign were relatively easier, but in this one have been remixed further to add some additional challenge. The stages in Plague of Shadows were nearly identical to the ones in Shovel of Hope, with only a few minor tweaks to better suit Plague Knight's gameplay. While in Specter of Torment, the stage have been remixed leaps and bounds above Plague of Shadows. There are still areas that look familiar to the originals, which is fun when you realize where you are in those past stages. But I could hardly even tell that they were based on those originals just because there were so many changes to them. They practically were entirely new levels. This is done to better complement Specter Knight's running and wall jumping action. There is still plenty of new enemy types, new background, theming elements, and nearly every song has been remixed. All of the music is great, some even arguably better than the originals. It even seems that the Knights of No Quarter have learned a few new tricks. All of the Knights have new abilities that changes the strategy of how you would fight them. With all that has been remixed and changed in Specter of Torment, this seems like more of a standalone game than just a new campaign in Shovel Knight. For those who played Plague of Shadows, you'll know that Plague Knight had a bit of a learning curve when trying to learn that character. Once you finally mastered it, there's gratification, but the initial controls challenge may have turned players away. But when playing as Specter Knight, the controls felt much more natural right off the bat. I felt pretty confident in my skills even by the end of the first level. Due to this, the bar for entry is much lower for less skilled players. But on the contrary to that, I would have to say this might be the most difficult of the Shovel Knight campaigns. The punishment for death is the same as all the other ones, where you only lose some money and then you have the opportunity to retrieve it if you get back to the same spot. It's the platforming difficulty that has been ramped up, which offers a brisk challenge, but it's nothing that's not doable. Because the controls are so easy to learn, even for newcomers, players can still make their way through this game. Last thing to note on controls, this game is totally playable right out of the box. I spent the majority of my playthrough using the left Joy-Con buttons to mimic the use of a conventional D-pad. There's no doubt you'll have better precision using a Switch Pro controller, but the game is still playable using just the Joy-Con. Specter Knight's abilities are quite unique. Like Plague Knight, he can't jump very high, and as a supplement to that, he has the ability to run up walls, climb over edges, and wall jump. This can lead to some fast sequences in level that are very rewarding. He also has a homing attack called a dash slash. This is where a slit will appear over a projectile, lantern, or enemy that indicates that you can slash through them. There are two angles from where you can do this attack, and they are based on your position. If you are below the object, you will slash up and through the object, giving you momentum upwards. However, if you are above the object, you will slash downwards. This can be a bit tricky when trying to traverse gaps, because you have to have a little bit of patience and intentionally fall so you get under the lantern, or whatever you're trying to slash through. This can lead you to plummeting right off the screens. It takes a few tries to get a hang of it, but afterwards, it feels like second nature. Like the two previous campaigns, you can upgrade health, magic, and collect new armors and relics. Health and magic are treated differently this time around, as they are called Will and Darkness. Instead of buying upgrades at a shop, there is one Wisp chest per level. They award you with an immediate upgrade to your max Will or Darkness. If you accidentally miss a chest, and don't really want to go back in the level to go hunt for it, you can always just outright purchase that upgrade from Missy. Relics in this campaign are now called Curios. Instead of obtaining them in stages, they are unlocked after the stage is completed. To purchase them, you have to spend red skulls. There are 10 skulls in each level to collect. When you purchase a curio, you are taken to a little tutorial area where you can test out and learn how to use this new ability. Another new feature is you can actually upgrade these curios. At the start of the game, there are 2 shrines where you can donate gold. Once you have given the max amount, they are transformed into shopkeepers. One, like I mentioned, lets you power up your curios to do more damage, pick up gold, last longer, etc. Then the other lets you buy cloaks. These are pretty similar to the armors we've seen before in previous campaigns, but I found the rail mail to be a ton of fun, letting you grind virtually anywhere. I can't wait to see speedruns using this technique. Now let's talk about story. Like previous Shovel Knight entries, the storytelling is very minimalistic, but somehow still surprisingly deep. In this campaign, we get a better look at some of the old characters through new dialogue from the Knights of the No Quarter and explaining their lives before the reign of the Enchantress. Some of the old cast was even given new purpose, like Ryza, Baz, and even the Triple Acolyte. The Phantom Striker takes a star role as a boss of the Lich Shard, since Specter Knight has yet to take his place. I mean, obviously you're playing as him. I don't know how they do it, but I swear, these games always tug on my heartstrings. As the stories tend to go in these Shovel Knight games, they are filled with lovable characters, be a bit cheesy at times, but they're always so emotive and have deep meaning. Like in Shovel of Hope, where he's trying to reunite with his long-lost love that was thought to be dead, or even in Plague of Shadows, where he's trying to impress the girl whose feelings may be unrequited. Without giving away any spoilers, Specter of Torment is about him mourning those he lost and giving his own life purpose. He struggles with his inner conflict and the struggle between himself and his master who puppeteers him. Like I said, I don't know how they do it, but I have never cared so much for pixel characters. I truly empathize for Specter Knight and all that he's gone through. Overall, Specter of Torment is an amazing platformer. The game has a brisk difficulty that's well balanced and never feels unfair. Each level is excellently designed, and the remix music only adds to that experience. Specter Knight controls feel so natural, and having the stage fitted to match his playstyle really works for its benefit. On top of all these gameplay aspects, the game even manages to tell a deep and emotional story. It repurposes many of the old characters to show us a new side of their personalities. It's amazing that these games have such a huge emphasis on perfecting the gameplay while at the same time can tell such a great story. In the end, I loved Shovel Knight Specter of Torment. If you have any interest in picking this game up, I highly recommend it. Personally, I can't wait to go back and play through it again so I can truly master these new stages. There's even stuff for me left to do in my original save that I can go back to. While this is just a review of the Specter of Torment campaign, I would say honestly go for Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, because not only does it include this campaign, but the 2 previous entries being Shovel of Hope and Plague of Shadows, plus the future ones to come like a King Knight campaign and the little Smash Bros-esque fighting arena. These all come as free updates later down the road, and it's only $15 extra over the cost of just this campaign, which I think is well worth it. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, subscribe for tons more on Shovel Knight, video game reviews, and other Nintendo related content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!